All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it is lagging, Camilo. It's just the Wi-Fi is bananas today here at the studio. I'm literally dropping as we speak. So yeah, excuse the lag today, but yeah, the lag is definitely is serious right now. Dropping frames as we speak. So it's the Wi-Fi, Camilo. I don't know if there's anything I could do about that. So excuse the Wi-Fi. Yeah, that shit's crazy right now. Definitely the Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's the Wi-Fi. It's the Wi-Fi. So yeah, excuse the lag, ladies and gentlemen. Um, my name is HT or Jesus, depending how well you know me or how close you can get to me. And today is part 9, speaking to myself. I didn't send out the link, so if you care to share this conversation with anybody, go ahead and pass and share the energy. Like I said, excuse the lag. The Wi-Fi is bananas right now. It keeps dropping in and out. Woo, let me see how it looks. That's crazy right there. Yeah, it's definitely dropping. So excuse the lag. It'll go in and out. But hopefully we should be good to go. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Get the energy going. So this is part 9, me speaking to myself. Gratitude to everybody who will run into this or whoever dares to stay here and chill with me today. Gratitude. Hopefully everybody had a lovely Friday. Everybody feeling good out there. About to enjoy your weekend. And if you're about to work, shout out to you, hustler. Shout out to you, grinder. No, it's just straight Wi-Fi, son. It's just straight Wi-Fi. So you guys know how this goes. Today's a solo one by myself. The vibe's a little different today. I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna front. That's why we're here. Godzilla gets back in town tonight, so I'm probably gonna stream until I have to go near that airport to pick up Godzilla. It's coming from Boston. Hopefully he had fun. Oh, shout out to Osvaldo, Camilo with their adult soccer league game they're about to have. I hope y'all win. Score one time for MTI, please. Shout out to y'all. Don't hurt yourself, Osvaldo. Be safe, have fun, run. Shout out to y'all. Hopefully everybody good over there. Hopefully the team gets a win. So yeah, so like I said, excuse the lag. The Wi-Fi is terrible today at the studio. I don't know what's going on. We had a guy come in, but I don't know. So excuse that. So the lag might be a little bit crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I want to get on here just, as you guys see in the title, I got a couple things. What do you mean you're about to lose? Shit. What's the score, fam? What's the score? Man, Jose should not be here. Jose needs to go out there and coach y'all. What's the score right now? How bad is it? Hopefully it's not too bad, but man. But as you guys can see in the title, we're about to get into. I got some things on my mind, and I'm actually feeling good today. So we are definitely gonna get into that. Woo. One thing, ladies and gentlemen, about me. In 30 minutes, man, you guys play too much. You know what? I kind of like the glasses, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Hopefully, y'all don't feel in any type of way, but that's how I'm feeling right now. And I kind of like the vibes, the energy. So, one thing. Yeah, he's chilling here. I don't know. He's somewhere. He's not in the room with me right now, but he's somewhere. I'm gonna leave the music. You're probably gonna hear that later, coming soon to a new series we're coming. So real quick, one thing y'all should know about me: I'm very obsessive with all my things. I'm very obsessive. Definitely, fam. Definitely. It's that type of day. There's a lot of sun. I brought the sun with me, Osvaldo. That's what we're doing in here today, fam. One thing you should know about me, I'm very obsessive with my interest. And when I like something, I really like it. And I tend to take it a little too far. And one thing I'm very obsessive with is glasses. From my regular 9.5 prescription glasses that I use on a daily basis to just any like sunglasses that I deem that I like. And sunglasses to me is almost a little isolation when you're out in society or any socialness that you have to deal with, especially me, since my social battery runs low a lot of the time. So I gotta protect my energy a lot of the time, and glasses really does that for me, you know. And today I'm feeling good, so I'm on camera with the glasses. It is what it is. I do not know it on top of my head right now, Osvaldo, but I'll pull that up for you later. But I don't know that on top of my head. Definitely UV on this joint for sure. I don't know the full capacity of it, but trust me, there's definitely UV joint in here, or just general light protection, you know. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Got the dark lenses on today because it's just the energy I'm coming with on this Friday. So that first thing you guys see on that title is Game 7. So about, I think 2 weeks now, or 2 weeks ago, I streamed my good friend and my barber. That's been my barber 5 years plus. I could say I'm not the best of keeping up with time and things of that nature. Shout out to Derek. He threw an event for his grand opening of Game 7 Barbershop, and he allowed me to go stream it, and I thought it was really cool. So shout out to you, Derek. Much love. Appreciate you, fam. You know, go find him. Game 7. Great barber. Other barbers besides himself. Look him up. You can book it. Just put Game 7. Go support the merch. He also sells vintage Game 7. So go show him some love. And shout out to you, Derek. But he allowed me to stream it, and I thought it was really cool event. The way he kind of set it up and how the idea of it. And if you guys go back to the live streams, it was based on barber business. It was based on the base of helping other barbers make sure their business is right, make sure they're doing what they need to do. And it was a really lovely event. I wasn't able to stay for the whole event, but I did stream the business side of things with different barbers, spoke about business. They even had a demonstration of cutting beard, hair, whatnot, and all those things. Ooh, am I that excited right now? Or is the brew kicking in? Because my brain is running fast right now. I like that good energy. Yeah, shout out to the 6 viewers. Much love. Appreciate y'all. Share and like the energy. We in here tonight. So I thought it was a very cool event because it was very important, because you got to see a lot of young people out there really trying to learn, trying to better their craft, trying to become barbers. And He brought out the youth, he brought out the hood, and it was a lovely thing to see, and it was all free, and it was a really cool thing to see, and I really wanted to kind of showcase it, aside if you got to go there and see it for yourself and support Derek, of course. But I thought it was important because the conversation me and the MTI squad has been having for the past month is that, well, I brought it to the attention where I don't feel the youth has any culture. That's why they're not really outside per se, right? And it's just there's something missing almost. There's not a go-to for the youth to go to learn. And that Game 7 grand opening was a good event where you see the youth trying to learn, trying to get it together. They even had a barber battle, and it was really cool that he allowed me to stream that. It was well done. You guys, if you guys go to the stream on the channel, Game 7 grand opening, barber business, you guys can go see it. You'll be able to see inside his shop. Super dope. And like I said, some of y'all don't understand, or maybe all of you should understand, how crucial it is to have a good barber. How crucial it is to have that connection, that relationship, that friendship to a good barber. Like I said, he's been my barber 5 years plus, so every time you see me, that's who cuts my hair. Does a great job, right? But it's crucial, at least for me. And I think for every man out there, it should be. You need to keep up on your maintenance. You need to be, stay sharp out there. Every day is a new day, And I don't know about y'all, but when I get a new cut, whoo, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like I could do anything. Hold up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me find my fidget toy because my hands are going crazy right now. Yes, that's why I need fidget toys. My hands are always moving like octopus arms everywhere, as if I had more than two. But yeah, it's very important, gentlemen. Like, find a good barber, and it's not even about just getting your hair cut. As you guys can see, me and Derek had developed the point where I could ask him, "Do you mind if I stream your event?" And just kind of, set that up. And just being able to support in that different way, and even him to allow me to use that on my channel was a great thing. So it's very crucial for you gentlemen out there, or young men out there, get yourself a good barber, develop that connection. It's very important. Don't be out here just going to random ones, just trying new things, because as a man, you should definitely take care of yourself. It's very important, mentally and physically. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're looking good, you're feeling good, so you could do your thing out here to the best of your potential. It's very important. And that event it really went well. And it was just the first example of kind of, I think they call it IRL, real life stream, like just me pulling up and doing just those kind of streams, right? The next stream I'm doing it, I want to do in that kind of energy is I'm probably going to start doing random streams at coffee shops, because as you guys know, I'm an addict to that caffeine and that good roast, right? We're drinking forgot the official name, but it's a cold brew, strong. That's why the heart is going fast. So that's probably the next kind of stream where you guys won't see me in the control environment that it is MTI Studios right now. And yeah, I'm gonna do the coffee shops. I kind of want to just pull up. Oh, shout out to you, Kamil. That's what I'm talking about. Looking good. How you feeling, man? You feeling better though? I know you were a little sick and stuff, but good, man. I like that. Got that haircut ready for the weekend. Start that Friday right. So yeah, that was the first example of the streams that it's gonna be out there in public, Next one coming up is probably gonna be for one of the coffee shops that I frequent when I go pick up my coffee, when I'm on the run, when I can't make it at the crib type thing. And that was just for example where I like that, just pulling up, setting up the laptop camera, let's stream, let's get into something, right? And I think that was really sick. And yeah, and go support, man. Go watch the live. Go get the mic was kind of in and out, but for the most part, you can get good business tips, especially if you're out there right now trying to become a barber and you kind of don't know where to pick up some pointers or get some inspiration or even get some genuine education on it. Game 7, Derek, he has a full team of really great barbers. Go show him some love. Go purchase that merch, Game 7 merch. So yeah, go show him some love. It was really good because I think when I brought to my squad the idea that I feel that the youth don't have culture, you know, one thing that I've learned throughout the years, because I've always been a thinker, I've always been an analyzer, I've always been HT, no pun intended, is yes, it's cool to point out a problem and issue, definitely, right? It's definitely cool to point out what's missing, but at the same time, when you do point out something that's missing, also come with a solution, also try to add, also try things to see if there's none of something. Well, maybe I could try to start developing something instead of just saying there's no culture, the youth ain't outside, what's going on with y'all? And we're definitely doing that too. If you guys didn't catch the last stream, not the sports one we did yesterday, but the youth impression with some two, they're not youth because they're of age, you know, and that was another reason why I agreed to that conversation, because that's kind of what we're trying to do. As you guys heard me in the last solo show that I did, it's very important to be able to talk to the next generation and keeping the next generation around you and vice versa, because we got to help each other at this pinnacle of time that we're all living in, right? Because the future is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crazy world we get to live in. Sometimes you wake up, you can't even believe that this is your reality, but it is, you know. People getting hit, not gonna say names, but you guys know who I'm talking about. So yeah, so that was kind of the idea, and it was lovely. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. It was a lot of people turned out. I should have got a shot from the outside of his shop, and it would, because he had vintage vendors, he had a fitted vendor, he had some food vendors. It was a whole vibe in there. And then before I left, they were about to start the barber battles, and I didn't get to stream that. So whoever won that, I know there was a prize to that, so shout out to whoever won that. But I didn't get to stream. I wish I would have streamed that, but it's all good. Next time we'll definitely get them. We'll definitely get them. So hopefully, yeah. Woo, look at this. The Wi-Fi sucks today, ladies and gentlemen, but it's all good. And I want to keep doing that. I just want to show up. I just want to pull up the stream. Coffee shop random things are coming up, just to kind of display the coffee shops, you know. And that was a wonderful thing. So go support Game 7. Another thing that I kind of it's been on my mind, and I think I don't think I've ever said out loud. Of course, if you're close to me, you know, if we get along like that, I've had conversations with you about it, and you know, sometimes I'll have you read this, what you think about this line, or what you think about this little thing I put together with my words, right? One thing y'all should know about me, ladies and gentlemen, is that I have a deep-rooted love for writing words, letters, metaphors, similes, double entendres. I love romanticizing words, phrases, sayings, slick talking, slick conversation, stern conversation, sarcastic conversation, and just being able to pin something and express myself in that manner has always been, it's been one of my favorite expressions that the universe has allowed me to do this far, as me being the human I am in my existence, and what I'm capable of doing with this, you know, little broken brain, but we make it work, you know, we make it work. And today I want to speak a little bit about that, because I was thinking about it as I was doing a little journaling that I started not too long ago, getting more consistent with that, and it's actually working. It's working just to get, because I spend a lot of time alone, so I don't, a lot of times I'm literally speaking to myself. As you guys can see, this is why when you guys see this, it's kind of easy for me to do, because I've been doing this since I was a child. I'm an only child. I was an only child for 17 years, so I've always spoke to myself. I always had my own thoughts, and I was able to go back and forth. And that's why this concept, and you guys see me, and we're on like number 9 right now. It's so easy to me, and even now as an adult, I do spend a lot of majority of the time just by myself for the most part, at least unless I'm at work or whatever the case may be, around the family and other people that are around me. So the journaling has helped where, of course, I'm going to continue to speak to myself. That's kind of one of my favorite things to do in the world, and I'll never stop speaking to myself. And you should definitely not stop speaking to yourself. It's a great help just to kind of get certain things out and try to see what's valid and not valid. You know what I mean? So don't stop speaking to yourself. Very important, especially if you feel stuck and whatnot and you're going through something. Speaking to yourself a lot of the times can be a really good help. And of course, if you got people to speak to that you trust and love you and genuine love you and kind of understand your thought process, definitely speak to them, right? But if you don't, definitely speak to yourself. You're not crazy. You're human. Don't forget that. You're not insane. That's just how we function. We all have an inner voice within us. Everybody speaks to themselves on a daily basis, from the morning to middle day until they go to sleep. So speak to yourself. It's a very healthy thing. Trust me. So yeah, in the journaling that I've been consistent with recently has helped me kind of take the junk thoughts that don't really matter or kind of don't make sense, or I haven't been able to make sense. Because to be honest, on a 24-hour span or cycle from where they end or start, I compile a network of thoughts. Think a lot. That's why I always say, that's why I do need a fidget toy, because my brain runs 100 miles per hour. That's how I function on a daily basis, right? I used to describe it as just imagine the beehive is caught on fire and is slowly being caved in and destroyed, and the hole to escape is getting smaller and smaller, and not all the bees are going to make it out. And that's my thoughts. My thoughts are the bees. Not every thought is going to make it. Or for that matter, not every thought should make it. And that's how my brain kind of functions. 100 miles per hour, where I'm thinking so fast. I'm going through thinking. And sometimes it is not the most positive thing, if I'm honest with y'all. Sometimes it's just pure overthinking that is no good for me. It's nonsensical. And, we always work on getting around that. But through journaling, I can kind of separate the 90% of junk in that network of thoughts that I compile through my 24-hour cycle of being awake and going to sleep. And I could just focus on the 10% that is very crucial and is very that I can actually work with, that actually is beneficial to me. Where's the vibes go? Let me get the music back up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So the journaling helps me deal with the 10% that is actually important and actually beneficial for me, especially when I'm attempting to get an idea, especially when I'm trying to develop something. And I want to keep doing that. Ooh, I'm a little hot on the mic. Let me turn that down. So yeah. And I used to think that, well, I actually always did believe that it would work, because I always understand when you use words to express yourself, especially when you literally write things down. And I would even count typing things in your notes. That definitely counts too, because especially when I'm writing one of my pieces, or I'm trying to express a thought, or have an idea, or I have a concept, or I have a story. I'm writing it. I write it in my head first, and then I'll put it on my phone. But we're gonna get to that here in a bit. But the journaling has really helped with that, and I've noticed, and I'm gonna really try my hardest just to make it a part of everyday life and normalize it. You know what I mean? Because it's really helped take the junk thoughts out of the way and just kind of dispose with them. So before my 24-hour ends and another one starts, I can keep that good 10%. And it also kind of helps with the overthinking. Like I said earlier, I'm a very obsessive person as far as my interests go and what I'm into and what I like. So I tend to obsess a lot. You know what I mean? So, and that comes with its pros and cons, as everything does in this existence, right? So the journaling has helped me kind of less overthink or stop trying to kick a dead horse. You know what I mean? Where a thought doesn't work anymore. The thought is nonsensical. There's nothing you can do with it. Or even if you know that thought or the start or wherever you want to take it, it's there. But a lot of times as a creative, you'll spend so much time and focus on it where you just got to stop looking at it, and you got to come back later. You got to come back another day type stuff. And the journaling is a good bookmark for the sake of that, you know? So, and also I've noticed that in journaling, I'm much more free with my words, because one thing and I won't dare to call myself a writer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just a human that I love romanticizing words, phrases, lines, metaphors, whatever you can do with a word or a sentence. So I'm not gonna call myself a writer, but I just write. And when I do write, I don't know if it's the standard that school put in me, whatever, of just kind of staying conform. But I'm very picky with the words that I use when I choose to write down a piece, or if I have an idea for a story, you know. And the people that know me, you know what I mean when I say my pieces, you know. I just kind of write these poems, let's say it like that, or passages of philosophy, for lack of a better word, you know. But in those pieces that I write, I'm very picky. I'm not using just any word. When I start a piece, you know, well, first, before we even get to the actual paper and pen and paper, or the phone, or even voice recording, because that's another thing that I also have started doing, just to not forget things or not forget an idea, so we can later develop it. The place where I start writing first is my head. I have to be able to visualize it in my head, and I have to be able to write it in my I write it first in my head, and then I visualize it, and then when I feel there's a strong sense there, or there's some sort of connection or something to work with, that's when I either take it to the phone, or I take it to the actual paper of whatever journal I got in hand at that moment. But everything starts from my head. And I always done that as a child, just because as far as my school experience, since kindergarten all the way throughout college, I've always known that I don't process information the same. I just don't. My mind doesn't function as everybody else does. As I always like to mention, on paper, I'm probably not the smartest person in the world, but if you have a conversation with me and you know, we go back and forth, you're gonna see that obviously the paper's wrong. But when I say on paper, I'm not, because I've never been good at testing. The way I like things to be explained to me is very different from the typical. And that's why in school, shout out to my elementary school, Lumberg, I actually did get a lot of help for them. That's probably my favorite teachers of all time that I've ever had. My elementary teachers, they helped me so much. Is the reason why I'm even the way I am to this point. So me being able to do it first in my head and then visualize it was the best way I can process information, right? For example, and I remember I started doing this when I was really young, and my aunt Belia, if she remembers, she'll tell you. So obviously in my family, I was the only one that spoke English and stuff, and you know, all that stuff that you guys already heard. But let's say I needed to help them get to an address, right? And I've been there before. I've been to the address before, right? Well, I wouldn't know the directions. I'm still not a direction type of person either. But if I could see it in my head and I can remember what trees we passed, what house, what gas station was there, I can guide you there, because I can see it in my head and I can visualize it in my head. And if I can visualize it in my head, I can either make it happen or I can get you there if it's a materialized place or thing or location. And that's how I've been able to get this far, just as me in school, and try to even become intellectual in my thoughts and my conversation, you know, is I have to see it in my head first. If I don't see it in my head first, it's not real. So and when I say that, I don't mean it literally. I mean it, I probably can't pronounce it. I probably can't find it. I probably can't understand it. I have to be able to see it in my head first, then visualize it in my head, and then I'm able to process it. And then I'm able to either express it, find it, explain it to you, or really understand it myself. And writing is no different, especially for me, because I remember the reason why I think the first time I fell in love with writing, and I appreciate the romanticizing it, is because I've always, since a child, have walked in with a heavy head as far as having a network of thoughts. Since I remember, since 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I've always been thinking about shit. I've always been observant. I've always been curious. I've always had a lot of questions. I always had a nah, that can't be it, you know? For example, the one that we've been speaking about on these streams with Osvaldo, Camilo, and Jose, that if this reality is the only one. And since a child, I don't know where the feeling comes from or the comfortability for me to even think otherwise. I've always knew that this reality wasn't enough, you know? Until to this day, I haven't lost that feeling. But due to that, I've always compiled a lot of thoughts, even since a child. And when I started school, since kindergarten or first grade, third, writing was so relaxing and calming. And it took me out of this reality for a moment to enjoy those other realities in my head. Even when I would start just to write a simple book report or whatever school assignment that I had to do, writing just kind of gave me a focus that I've never had. And until to this day, when I do write, and people that are around me, when I am in that process of writing a piece or putting something together, whatever the case may be, I'm very focused, because my focus is not the best, as many of y'all know. And writing definitely does that for me. And when I was young, because of the chaos that I had to deal with at a very young age, writing was kind of the other reality where I can make other realities real, right? And I remember, I think it was fourth grade or third grade, around there. That's when they were pushing you have to read type thing. And that's was still around where they were still teaching you cursive and stuff, and you would have to do cursive in class. That was kind of the lesson. and I remember they would give us a whole hour where we had to pick a book and read. And since my mind was already kind of developed in that way, where I was already creating worlds since I was 10 and whatnot, a lot of the books that they would try to get me to read, well, first of all, the first time I ever opened a book, well, it didn't really happen with like the simple books where they had animations or pictures or just like 2, 1, or 3 sentences. But the first time I opened a chapter book, it was either second or third grade, somewhere around there. I opened the page and I just remember the words falling off the page, and it kept happening to me. And then that would piss me off. Obviously, at first, being a child and not knowing how to express it to the adults around my life, or even think that was an actual issue, or thinking that was even, am I really seeing this, or am I just making it up in my head, right? I kind of put it to the side, but at the same time, after like 5th, 6th grade, or even 4th, I was like, no, I gotta figure out why this happens. And like I said, around that time, my elementary school teachers were really good at, and if you went to school in America, for that matter, there was always a kid that got taken out halfway through the class, or in the morning, or after lunch, right? Because they had, I guess, extra help, whatever you deem that, right? Well, I was that kid. And that's why my elementary school was so crucial for me, because they really did help me develop my thinking in my brain and just organizing, because, you know what I mean? That's the same reason why from kindergarten to 7th grade, my school career, that far, I didn't really speak. I was quiet. From 1 to 6, my teachers thought I didn't know English, or I didn't even know how to speak. So obviously, they were obviously going to give me the help to see what's up with this odd little Mexican kid, But I was one of those kids that was taken out of class either after lunch, in the morning, or before lunch, right? And that helped me a lot. Whatever they were doing, or whatever they thought was wrong with me, was kind of right, because it helped me a lot. And that was crucial, because I think I didn't speak because I didn't know how to. I spoke a lot, actually. Like I've said before, I was since I was young, I was man of the house. Cops come to the door, we got to talk to the hospital, whatever, phone bill, all that grown up stuff that I do now, anyways. So I've always spoken, and even as before I was in kindergarten, being on the bus with my Aunt Belia, and we would go everywhere, and just being able to socialize. And even she would tell me that I would be the one talking English on the bus for her, or translating, or whatever the case may be. So I definitely knew English, because I knew English since 1st grade for sure. But I didn't speak because I didn't know how to speak, or I didn't want to express myself. I didn't speak because, like I explained earlier, everything was going 100 miles per hour, ladies and gentlemen. And imagine being a child and being small and having this big old world over you, and your brain is just every day. It doesn't stop. Kind of don't like how that looks in the shot, and it's covering the beautiful MTI artwork, so we're gonna get that out the way. But as a kid, I didn't speak around those times because my brain would overwhelm me. I would be in disarray, right? And even if you look at some of my pictures from that time, you see it in my eyes. I was somewhere else. I wasn't present a lot of the times. And of course, you can say that comes from just my natural DCO. See what I mean? DCO. I can't even say it, or taking myself from the present reality because I didn't want to deal with the chaos that I had to deal with, right? So that could also come from that. But it also came just because my brain has always been like running 100 miles per hour. And when I look at some photos now, when I was those ages in elementary school, I was not present. I was gone. Like, you could see it in my eyes. Even my mom, she a long time ago, she gave me this keychain from like when we were still in Mexico. I was months, I was 1 or 2 around that time. Oh, I was months probably. I was probably not even 1 yet. But she gave me a keychain, and it's a photo of her young self holding me, and even in the picture, in months, you can see I'm not present. You can see it in my eyes. So it seems, as far as I could tell, I've always naturally done that. I've always kind of ran to my imagination for comfort, for true understanding of what I was in that moment, what I am now, and what I will be in the upcoming future. And you know, that comes with its benefits. That comes with its cons too, right? Especially dealing with the real world, right? 'Cause most of the world doesn't function like that. But it works for me, ladies and gentlemen. It really works for me. It has gotten me this far, and I don't think it's something I'll ever stop doing, because that's why I understand things a certain way, or certain things come easier to me, because if I can see it in my head, then visualize it, then I can materialize it, regardless of if I can truly understand something and teach somebody else something, or I have an idea for a photo, for a video, for a visual, for an aesthetic. If I can see it in my head, that means I could probably make it real in this reality, you know? And when those words would move on me, after I was like, okay, well, what's up with this? So after I figured out that would happen with my brain, that's why sometimes I say things backwards, or even now where I couldn't pronounce that word. I could definitely pronounce it, but since I'm in the midst of speaking to myself right now, you know, I don't got time to slow down in that way. So I was like, okay, that means I got to get better at reading, you know? And for people that know me, that know that I do like to read, I definitely love to read, actually. And that's another thing that I love to collect is books. I love to read. Reading is very calming for my brain. It's another thing, as I was explaining with journaling, that calms my brain down. You know what I mean? But the reason why I end up become a big reader is because I wanted to figure out how I can make the words stop just disappearing from the page, or leaving the page literally as a waterfall. Like I would open the chapter book and the words would just drop down, or be disorganized where it wouldn't make any sense to that sentence or that phrase, or whatever the case may be. So when I understood that, and I'm sure I got some help. Like I said, I was one of those kids that always got helped in elementary school. I was taking out of classes and stuff, and I'm sure I got help from them to better understand that too. And when I did figure that out, I was like, so that means I got to read more, because this has to stop happening. Because I know adults now that are my age or even older that don't like to read, because they would have the same issue. But for me, in reality, was just, that means I got to read more so I can control it, so my brain can actually be able to understand. So because of that, I ended up reading so much, and I still read to this day. And the same thing happened with writing, where, because until to this day, ladies and gentlemen, and shout out to Grammarly, because it's a big ass help for me, I'm not the best at grammar. I'm just not. And that goes back to how my brain functions and how it swaps words or ideas or thoughts or nouns or verbs or adjectives, right? And for that same reason, I was never able to kind of learn grammar the way you should, or the West way of speaking, you know? But that's a whole different conversation within itself. So until to this day, my grammar sucks. So that's why when I do start a writing piece, I need editors. Whoo, I'm definitely speaking today, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to y'all. Please like and share the energy. I appreciate everybody. You even care about my ramblings, my rants. But we 54 minutes in. It's barely 10. got to see that it's not gonna get here until later, so we still got some time. So as I was mentioning, when I found out writing was this peaceful world that I can just fall into and really just get away from the chaos that I was experiencing around that time, I got obsessed with it. I was like, I gotta do it more. And at the same time, going back to when I was speaking about journaling earlier, that journaling was probably my first type of writing in reality, because like I said, my brain has always functioned at 100 miles per hour, right? And when I'm able just to think and write, even though if I don't have a period, comma, or even if I'm not writing a sentence, it's just words or an idea, that helped a lot. And once I figured that out, and I got over that first place where now I can organize thoughts or sentence, right? Because even the teachers used to tell me when we used to have to write essays, and we used to have to write them with, well, no, I did type some of them, but we first would write them with pencil or pen. It'd be so fast because it was so easy, because the thought is already there. It's just the same thing you guys are kind of witnessing now. That's why I can just go, because as soon as I focus the network of thoughts that I compile, I could just go. That's why I could just do this by myself, rant. I don't need nobody else around me, even though I definitely appreciate when I can have a good conversation with somebody else, right? I definitely appreciate that. And that's also needed. Be social out there, yo. Don't let your brain shrink. But anyways, so when I was able to get over that part, because I used to watch a lot of old movies when I was a child, because I didn't have cable until fucking, I don't know, 16, 17, 15, maybe around there. As I was growing up, it was nothing but, just the local channel type shit. That's why it was hard for me to be inside as a child. That's why I was always outside, because even video games didn't hold my attention around that time. But anyways, I would watch a lot of old movies from the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s. And even now, when I go back to those movies, the writing is incredible in there, the storytelling, and even like the video shots. But me watching those as a kid, and when I would see a certain scene when two characters will smoothly go back and forth, either through a disagreement or through sharing love with each other, but this beautiful dance that they would do with words that would be expressed through the movie, I fell in love with that. I'm like, I need to figure out how to do that, because that back and forth was so beautiful. It's just when you see two people dancing and connecting and being able to smoothly lead each other into the next move or the next beat or whatever the case may be, right? In those movies, I seen a lot of that, and I was like, ooh, I want to know how to do that. I want to learn how to be able to write in this way from this person's perspective, and then from this other's perspective, and be able to bring them together to show this moment or express this idea or this mood or this love or this death, right? And those movies came around the same time where I was figuring out the writing and the reading thing and how my brain functions with those things. And that's when I started writing. So I probably started writing since 6th grade, to be honest. And they're probably not the best. I think I still have an actual journal with some of those writings. Woo! Damn, we talking today. My throat getting dry and shit. Woo! That's strong cold brew right there. Shout out to the 5 viewers right now, whoever's in here. Please like and share the stream. Shout out to y'all. My gratitude's to here if you're willing to listen to this rant. So I fell in love with writing. And of course, as I've said it before, I want to make my own. I want to make my own impression. So if somebody watches this or reads it, or whatever the case may be, that they see it in, they get inspired. And that pushes them for them to do it. So that's where writing, and to even go deeper, to me, words or even the expression of words, either through the vocals or paper, or even typing it in your notes, or if you're writing a script, if you're writing a movie, whatever the case may be. It's very deep, because words have meaning. Words come with things. It's not, you're not, a lot of the times I think as humans we take words and simple phrases and sentencing for granted because we're so used to it, right? Because we don't come from not having words, so we don't really think they matter. So we're people just be talking to talk sometimes, or even saying extremely ignorant shit just to say it. But to me, and if you ever see me either in these streams, or if you have a conversation with me in person, I'll pause before I'll say my thoughts or say something, because I'm really trying to make sure I say it right? But I also give myself time before expressing myself, because to me, if I say a word, and whatever that meaning of that word, I take it literally, or that sentence or that sentiment that's expressed through words or vocalizing the words, because the unconscious mind is very sensitive, ladies and gentlemen. Is extremely sensitive, and you might not think certain things are affecting you, or you might not think certain things are not being picked up by you, but they are being picked up, right? Like, so for example, and y'all out there that know me, I've never been a religious type, and if you guys seen that last episode, I'm probably not gonna be anytime soon. Shout out to y'all though. Shout out to y'all. Obviously, my name is Jesus, and in English it's Jesus. So, for example, just due to the influence of what is Christianity and just religious and all that story, and if you care about that shit, go watch the Impression of the Youth. That's probably the last time I'm ever gonna get into that conversation from that perspective. But let me digress and get back to what I was saying. So people like to say Jesus, people like to say Jesus Christ and stuff like that, and that's just a quick example I can think of. So me, obviously, I'm not that type of believer, but even that I'm not a believer, I don't even say those words. Those are not part of my lexicon. That's just not, because I feel, especially those kind of words, those come with a certain meaning, a certain power, a certain karma that you got to deal with when you use those words out loud in that manner. And not even out loud, to be honest with you. Even when you say it in the privacy of your own mind, the universe will hear you, or your unconscious will hear you. So regardless if you don't vocalize it, even if you say it quietly to yourself, you still have said it. You still are thinking about it. And I'm very conscious of that. I've always been in everything I do. And when it comes to words, that's why certain words I won't say unless I'm trying to mean it, or we're going that way, or it's 100% needed. But I'm not just freely throwing out words. That's why being silent is my favorite thing to do, because sometimes silence is the best thing you should do, because every word means something, literally, figuratively. It's not just for your expression, for people to understand you, or for you to be able to communicate. Words have power, ladies and gentlemen. And y'all probably have heard this a millions of times, and it's cliche at this point, but I truly believe that words have a lot of power, especially when they start in your mind and they are vocalized. They have a lot of power, and words do come with karma and do come with consequences for you and everybody around you. Not just the definition or how people take the word. It's just words are powerful. I mean that. There's a reason why it was so meaningful for us humans as a species to even get to that point of language and expression and reading and writing and all that. So I'm very sensitive in that way, where me personally, obviously, people are going to do whatever they want. I don't care. But me personally, that's why, you don't hear me saying certain phrases. I don't use certain words. I just don't, unless I need to and I really mean it, or it's 100% necessary for me to take it there. Because to me, words are very important. And that's why, to me, you either gonna say something for real or just stay silent. And obviously, even now, as I'm on the internet and I'm over here streaming, chilling, I feel as if I'm wasting my words as I'm doing it, right? But at the same time, I mean everything I'm saying, and I'm not playing about it, and that's how I live my life. So, there's a double-edged sword as far as if you agree that words have meaning and they're very powerful. So be careful with your words, That's why there's such sayings that the tongue is mightier than the sword, because it's true. It's true. And even approaching somebody or getting your point across in a certain phrase makes much different, right? Like this week I had an interaction, right? And I won't give you too much detail of that interaction, right? But basically I had to meet with somebody, and it was kind of a meeting, and he walks into my office, and it's another office, or it's actually the other room that we're actually about to set up for the other sets and the other scenes on the other side of this wall in the studio. And right now I just got a table so I can put the computer, but it's a work in progress. It's coming, don't worry. But he comes in, and I don't have I have a chair for other people to sit, really. I just have a chair for myself because, and he the way he mentions it, the way he walks in, he's like, "What? You don't have no chair for your guests?" And that's exactly what I mean, Because he could have said, "Where's the chair? Can I get a chair?" No. He proposed it in a more poetic way, in a more like, you got to be on your toes, And he said, "You have no chairs for your guests?" And just in that example, that's what I mean about the value of words. They're very powerful, and the way you use them can be very beneficial, and it can allow you to understand the world around you in a very different way, even your own existence. And I think this a lot with everything that I'm interested in, or I've been interested in since I was a child. That I always, I don't know, maybe because, I don't think of old age in the same way, but maybe when I was being raised or around certain people, I thought that because maybe that's how they saw old age or whatnot. But I always thought that everything that I'll probably be interested in as I grow up or become an adult, whatever that means to you, that I would stop liking it. Of course, I've stopped liking certain things. I don't do a lot of other things that I used to do. Of course, things do change and have to change, of course. But specific interests that I haven't really changed. They haven't. And me romanticizing words and writing and literature hasn't stopped. It's probably only intensified at this point at 32 years old, ladies and gentlemen. But for some reason, but it's probably because the way I was raised and how people viewed young and old age, right? I don't subscribe to that. I unlearned that, and I have my own program as far as that idea or notion goes. But I thought I would lose interest in it. I thought at this point I wouldn't be like this. I would just be a normie out there, waking up, going to work, But I'm not. And even at this point, my love and romanticizing for words and writing it's even more, because I even think from the last two pieces that I've put together and I put out, obviously, I don't really like them, but if I'm trying to, from a bird's eye view, they've been the best that I've written in a while, But that's very important to me, and I don't think I'll ever stop writing. And when I say writing, I'm not trying to call myself a writer, but I'm never going to stop writing. That's my favorite type of art. That's my first art, to be honest with you, is writing. Before photography, before aesthetics or just visual arts per se, writing was my first art where I came in as a creative, to be honest with y'all, right? And I don't think I'm gonna stop thinking of words or thinking of stories or thinking of how to say phrases or trying to be slick or, in that way, or even, as I've said before, definitely shoot and direct and write a movie, because MTI is definitely going to end up doing that, and that's what we're working towards right now. But yeah, I honestly just really wanted to share that sentiment that my love for writing is real, and it won't stop. It won't stop. And I do have a piece coming out soon that I've been working it for a while, but at this point I'm not rushing anything. And one thing, if you do ever read my pieces or my writing, it's for me. Like, I'm writing for myself. I'm not writing for people to like it. I'm not writing for even people to relate to it, to be honest with you. That's why the way I write is very specific to me and for me. So I write just to get the expression out, to get the idea out, or to even get on those planes of creativity or those other realities to really expand myself, So if you ever do run into one of my writing piece and you don't like it or you don't understand it, you're not supposed to, unless you know me and we kind of have those conversations back and forth, or unless you have my brain. But you're not supposed to understand it, to be honest with you. And I write it for myself, because a lot of the times those writing pieces, and I've said it before, and I'll be extremely honest with y'all, ladies and gentlemen, they have helped me off the edge, literally and figuratively. So when you do see anything that comes from me in writing, that's my little back and forth with myself to make sure I stay off the edge and continue to stay in this reality, dealing with the reality of these things, But yeah, I just wanted to share that because that's very important to me. I think it was important to say on mic. It was important to express and for you to understand that side of me as far as my true love for writing. And that's why the movies I do watch and even the shows I watch, they have to be specifically written and even aesthetically. I think the last show that I really enjoyed was Reverence. I think it was on Apple TV. I think there's supposed to be another season coming at some point. But if you go watch Reverence, you see what I mean. So I like very specific type of writing. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do watch movies just for the visuals and maybe the story, and they won't have as much writing. But the ones that I really like the movies is good writing, just good back and forth, good dialogue, good conversation, whatever that is. But yeah, that's my love for writing, ladies and gentlemen. That's my love for writing. How is it? I hope everybody's well. You still got 3 people here hanging in with me. Shout out to y'all. Please like and share the energy. We just cooling, chilling today. I don't even know if Jose's still in the building. He didn't want to come in and sit in the room, but it's all good. That's how good he's doing his thing. Oh, let me share another thing with y'all. Maybe we get a sponsor. You never know. These are my favorite gummies. Gummy bears or gummy worms. See, I got gummy silverworms, but these are like my favorite. Bomb. Shout out to them. HT want some. But another thing, and the last 2 things that I'm going to get into, they kind of intertwine. I know I kind of separated them in the title, but is one of the same. And today I got a really friendly reminder. That's probably why I'm feeling so good and my energy's right. And I'm just focused, and I'm, I ran into what I would deem my best friend. I'm not ashamed to say that. And for you gentlemen out there that feel some type of way about that phrasing, go get yourself a best friend, fam. For real. Like, you don't even know the power of that. And today I ran into my best friend, and I haven't seen her in a while, right? Obviously I've been on text with her, and we've been in communication in that way, keeping up, because she's been going through some things, of course, right? We never really lost communication, and it's your best friend when, and no matter how long has it been that we haven't really seen each other, like kicked it in person or interacted in person, where it's just the synchronicity just happens out of nowhere. Like we've been chilling this whole time, like nothing like the time hasn't passed, like is as if we haven't even got older, but we have. And I ran into my best friend Amanda. Shout out to fucking Amanda, man. Shout out to you, fam. And you guys, like I said in that first video we dropped, she will be on the channel. You guys are definitely gonna see her around. We already locked it in and confirmed the energies. You know, we're still one of the same. We're still one of the same for sure. And I ran into her today. And even as we were, you know, just catching up real quick in the middle of this store, you know, being loud as fuck, like two ghetto ass kids, because that's how we met, like two ghetto ass kids, you know. Obviously, we've gone way better, you know. We've cleaned up a little bit, but we still got that in us if need be. And we were being loud, just catching up, cracking up, laughing, talking about some old shit, new shit, you know. And it was a good reminder of not just the value of a best friend, and why if you don't have one, you should try to get one, especially as a man, as a boy, as a gentleman. You know, you need that type of connectivity, especially like me and Amanda's friendship and relationship since day one, because I think I met her back in 5th grade type vibes, 5th or 4th, around there. And we didn't become friends right away. We just always had a kind of mutual understanding with each other even then. And she would even tell you, she one day caught me because we used to go to elementary school for a little bit until she disappeared. She would even tell you, she caught me going to the bathroom and I was singing the Biggie song. She remembers that, you know. And hopefully if I get her on here, we can have that conversation for y'all. And you guys can see what I mean, you know. But it's a good reminder of what having a real friend is, or having real friends, and the power of that, and that really is when it's really genuine and it's legit. Because today, the reason why I'm here in front of y'all and I'm doing my thing, I don't give a fuck, wearing glasses, got a new little bucket hat, and you know, I'm feeling good. I don't give a fuck today, you know. The reason why you guys see me like that, because of that interaction. Got my energy right, reminded me that I'm on the right path of whatever I'm trying to do. And it was good to see that. It was good to hear that she's still creating. It's good to see that she's still doing her to the fullest. You know what I mean? And it was lovely. It was lovely. And I can't wait to have her on here. You know, we're going to get back into what we used to do. Because like I've said before, all this that I'm trying to do now, I did it with her back in 2012, 2013, 2014. We shot videos, we shot photos, we got lost in the mountains, we drove my own 87 BMW up the mountain, not knowing, with her dog Houdini, not knowing. Shout out to Houdini too. Alright, he's a little older now, but he's still kicking. Shout out to Houdini. And I had to make sure I had to keep certain things alive, because like we even spoke about this as we were catching up. That's kind of my part, you know what I mean? I'm the person that keeps things alive. I'm the person that, you know, brings the people together. And this, what you guys see me doing, me and her used to do it. Deep conversations in the car, deep conversations in the mountains, visuals and aesthetics together. And like I've said before, and I told her today, like, I need you back, fam. I need that energy, because yes, I'm a creative person on my own, 100%, and I can 100% creatively stand on my own by any means, for sure. But creatively, I can stand on my own, and I love doing that. But when me and her come together, it's different from both ends, and vice versa. What we pull out of each other and how we push each other, and kind of that synchronicity that we have with our minds and our perspective about the world, is priceless to me. And I need that back, you know, and I want that back, because at this point, imagine what we could do if we were doing that when we were children, literally lost children trying to figure this shit out, you know what I mean? But now we're full functioning adults. So imagine what we can do now. So that's going to be a beautiful thing. And I have a lot of love for Amanda. Shout out to you, Amanda. If this hits you or you find this, shout out to you, man. Good to see you today, fam. Was a good fucking pick me up for sure. No caffeine can do that for me. Just some good energy, some good quick conversation. And even in the interaction of the store, I was telling her, fam, I couldn't even look at her in the eyes because I kept telling her, look, fam, I'm trying to keep my composure, but you don't know how giddy and fucking happy I feel right now. Just the fact that I was able to see my long time fucking friend, right? And as far as those times are concerned, when we met, she's the only one that stuck around. Straight up. She's the only one that told me the truth. You know what I'm talking about, fam? She's the only one that... we've been through everything, yo. I swear, we've been through everything. Trust me. So it was good to see that. And the value of a real friend, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. Obviously, just the value of any connection that you will have with a human, as far as your spouse, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, your family, your brother, your sister, right? Is very important, And I really felt that today, and I really appreciate that. So my gratitude to the universe for that I get to have that at this point, and I still have that genuine connection, and I have that real love around me from people that actually know me in and out. Like, man is one of those that knows me. Like she's seen me in rare form. She sees me at my best. She's seen me at my worst. She's seen me at my rock bottom. And vice versa, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by in and out. And the reason why in the title next to real friends, I put MTI, because I think that's why I kept it alive. Because you never really know what life is gonna go, or is supposed to go, whatever the case may be. But the reason probably why I kept MTI going and I'm still trying it and I haven't let go of this experiment is because of that. It's because of her. Like I've told it before in that first video, me and Amanda came up with MTI. She was the one who printed hoodies and hats back in 2014, 2015 type vibes, And she even said it to me, like, I'm glad you keeping it going, right? And that's why I've kept it going, because even if we're never going to stop being friends, we're never going to stop being family. Like I said, as soon as I seen her today, it was so smooth and easy, and that synchronicity was so beautiful. Because one thing about my brain, ladies and gentlemen, y'all should know, I like synchronicity. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm on the right path, right? A lot of the times when I can't find synchronicity with anything, I don't bother with it a lot of the times, because I know my brain needs a certain thing. And when organically things fall into place, that's when I'm at my best at, It's like that higher level of communication, right? And I don't have it with everybody, but that's okay. I don't have to at the same time. But when I do have it, and it's genuine and it's real and it's been proven time after time, as you guys can see me, look at me. That's why we got the lenses on for the stream today, bruh. I'm not playing. I don't give a fuck today, bruh, because I'm feeling great. But that's why I've kept MTI going, because you never know where life is going to throw anybody. Everybody got different journeys. Everybody got to do what they got to do. But MTI to me was a big, because even if I didn't ever speak to her again, or I didn't get to see her again, whatever, if that was going to happen, and luckily that didn't happen, right? Obviously, MTI was, still trying to keep my friend Amanda around me. That's what MTI was, right? And because of me and her actually developed that idea or that branding in real time, like in a real way. And I'm glad I haven't stopped. Today was a good reminder that that's my part. Like after I get myself out of the rubble, out of the rocks, out of the rubble of the building burning down, we're gonna still keep at it, because it means something. It's something real, something genuine, and that's why I haven't given up. And today was a good reminder when she told me, like, I'm glad you haven't. I'm like, yeah, man, this is a real thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been live 83 minutes, yapping my ass off, but I hope everybody's good. New coffee series is coming soon with me and Camilo. We should shoot it. We got everything just little things to set the scene, but we got everything to go. So you guys, that's gonna be in video form though, so it's gonna be like a coffee review, coffee shop. But like I said, I don't want to go too much into it until the first episode is out, so you guys can see what's up and how we're gonna do this damn thing. But look, ladies and gentlemen, my gratitude to everybody that was here today. And if you find this as a video, like, share, subscribe. If you care what HT got going on, if you care what MTI got going on, if you care what Jose, Osvaldo, Camilo got going on, shoot, even Catencila. So go subscribe to Catencila's channel. Gotta go pick up that boy from the airport tonight. He's probably coming back from Boston, so we should definitely have a stream, a Mile High Electro stream for y'all this Sunday. Go subscribe to all his social medias, YouTube. Go stream original tracks on our DSPs. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been, and this concludes another episode of HT speaking to himself. My gratitude to everybody. Have fun, enjoy yourselves, go outside, be safe, keep it classy, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.